Hi all, and welcome to February 1st today, and welcome to another kind of month-long, I guess, different what we're up to behind the scenes type of video. Before we jump into this week's video, here's a quick introduction in case you're new around here and wondering who we might be.
Hi there, we're Matt and Stacy. We recently bought an off-grid property in beautiful West Virginia. We've been busy making this property our own little slice of paradise, adding in a few modern conveniences, having fun learning all of the construction trades, and converting a pole barn into our future home. This channel is about my passion for painting with a torch and wax, and about our passion for adventure and taking risks. Consider subscribing and join this creative community. And don't forget, hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video.
I think today we're just going to chill out mostly. It's a Saturday, so I've got some chili going in the crock pot, and we've also done our normal quote-unquote typical Saturday morning breakfast, which is some pancakes and sausage. And unfortunately, fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, most of the snow has pretty much all melted. The good news is the temps have warmed up a little bit, so we're not down into the single degree temperatures anymore. Bad news is the snow has melted, but the sun is out, so I don't know if we'll get out for a walk later on today or what, but if we do, I'll take you along with you. So anyways, welcome to this month's vlog.
I thought now would be a good time to show you how our drainage system is working. About a year ago, we did dig this ditch out that runs along the side of our property and somewhat through our property, but it's working rather nicely after 4 days or so of rain and snow melt. As you can see, we have to dig some of it out a little bit more, just clean it out, but it's working out great.
Hi all, I thought I would pick up the camera here real quick, and I got a recent kind of question / conversation where somebody reached out to me and asked about our freezer planning and how I keep track of the meals that I put in the freezer. So I thought, why not share all of this with you? I just stuck some chili in there that I had extra made up of, so I just put that in there, which reminded me to maybe sit down and record this and answer that question. So I thought I would come out here and show you the freezer. And basically up here is most of our freezer meals, and then I have meat and things like that here, cookies and baked goods on these two shelves, and then on the door a few more freezer meals, some smaller containers of the freezer meals. So while the freezer isn't that chucked full, there is quite a bit in there. So I keep track of everything. I don't keep track of necessarily all the cookies and things like that that are in there, but I keep track of all of our frozen meat, all of the freezer meals that I put in and out of there, and I do that in Trello. If you've been here a little while, you know I love the program. I can put it in there I can add items very easily into the computer, and I can also use my phone. I'll show you how I add it in the computer. It's just as simple on the phone. It's harder for me to record my phone screen than it is to record the computer screen. So basically anytime I put something in the freezer, I add it into my list in Trello called freezer or freezer meals. I'm not exactly sure what I have it, but at any rate. And then I assign a blue label to it. So that's just like a quick visual reference that it's something I'm pulling out of the freezer or something I'm putting into the freezer. And then when I'm meal planning, I can drag things into the different days, different weeks, so then I know that, okay, on this day I'm going to use this item out of the freezer. And once I have used that item, like for example, I use this beefalo in the chili, so I'm deleting that and I'm archiving the card and I'm deleting the card out of Trello, and that gets rid of it. So I know, okay, I no longer have that 1 pound of beefalo in the freezer. It's gone. And this is just an easy way to make sure we don't have like a bunch of meat in there, or I'm not buying more things and we're not using them. They're just sitting in the freezer for, months on end. It's just an easy way for me to keep track of it, and it really works really well. So like I said, normally I do this on my phone, especially as I'm, maybe not the meal planning portion, but as I'm taking things in and out of the freezer, I'm just adding them on my phone. So it's really convenient that I can have it on my phone and the computer. And maybe I'll show you some meal planning, because I'm planning on doing that next week. So maybe I'll do a quick overview of how I meal plan. Morning all, and happy Tuesday. I don't know if you could see behind me here, but I'm up in the office doing some meal planning today, and I think I told you I would show you all kind of my process for that. So I'm going to do a couple screen recordings here and insert them, and then I'll either do, talk to you like this or voiceovers for it, but I thought I would just show you the process here while I'm at it. All right, so the first thing I need to do is take the meal plans that are already in here, or the meals that are already in this, are from the past couple weeks. So the first thing I need to do is take and drag those back over into their appropriate kind of sections, and then also delete out anything that I had taken out of the freezer, because that's no longer obviously in the freezer. So you'll see I'm just dragging a few things back over into sections, and I have these sectioned out into various different groups that I have used in Trello, or that I've set up in Trello. So I have these categories divided for pretty much what works for me. Because of different medicines that I'm on, I have to have vitamin K certain times a week, or so many times a week. So I have that as a category. Then I have, things that I have in the freezer as a category, so I just can keep track of that, as I had already mentioned. And then I have various different recipes from cookbooks and online, and then a couple of our favorite people that we have a cookbook from, and then also another online person that I use a lot of recipes from. And then of course I have things like soups and things like that as well. You could also go even further and to divide this out by, if it was vegan or meat-based or things like that. But this tends to work for me right now. As I build more and more recipes on here, I may eventually change that. All right, and once I have all of these recipes dragged out of the previous week's columns, I then can start dragging new recipes over and start meal planning for the next several weeks. And so it's easy peasy to do. It's also very, very easy to add new recipes in here, which I tend to do on a weekly basis because if you all know me, I get rather tired of the same old, same old. So I like to create some new recipes or make some new recipes. It's also, as you can see, very easy in here for me to take and copy a recipe that I find online, copy the URL link, and paste that into Trello, into the new card that I've made for that recipe. I get 99, I think, % of my newer recipes online. So very rarely do I open up one of our cookbooks anymore. It's just so much easier to do everything online, I found. So yeah, it's really easy for me just to copy and paste those URLs in and create new recipe cards. I also like to meal plan out for at least 3 weeks, a lot of times 4 weeks. And the grocery store is not that far away. It's only about 20-25 minutes depending on traffic. So it's not like it's that far away, but you know, it's just easier for me if I'm sitting down to meal plan just to do it all at once. And the easiest way for me to kind of do that is to, again, use the stuff that we have in the freezer, the dinners that I have frozen. And that's kind of how I kind of stretch things out, because obviously fresh vegetables are not going to last 4 weeks in your refrigerator. I also use a lot of frozen vegetables that we buy from the grocery store. I'm hoping maybe next year to maybe do a garden and have some frozen fresh vegetables that we've grown, but who knows. But anyways, frozen vegetables from the grocery store are also very convenient to use, so you don't have to constantly be running back and forth to the grocery store. And while meal planning is not at all one of my favorite things to do, it is necessary, which is also why I only like to do it about once every 3 to 4 weeks. It does take me a while. So this took me about 2 hours to do. And now that I have everything kind of planned out, figured out, that also included looking up recipes, I can now go into the grocery store and sign into our account through the grocery store and then make our grocery list. And I always do grocery pickup, so which has worked out really, really nice for us. We've been doing it since right around COVID times, and we've just continued to do it. No need to go into the grocery store ourselves, and I can make notes on our grocery account, which I'm sure if any of you have done this in the past, you know all this, but you know, I can say, hey, if we want avocados, make one a little bit more ripe and one less ripe, things like that. And the grocery store that we go to does an excellent job at picking out our produce. We've never had any issues, so yay for the groceries. Moving on past the grocery store list and onto actually making something with some of these groceries. Hi y'all. I know in the past we've shown you how that we make lemon chicken noodle soup, but I don't think I've ever shown you what we do with the leftover lemons. So I figured we'd take you along on this little journey. Matt is finishing up over there on the couch, I think, and he's planning on coming to help me out, I think. So we're gonna get some soup going, and I'll walk you through that process too in case you somehow missed one of those videos. It's an older video a while back. And then show you what we're doing with the leftover lemons. All right, while I chop up veggies, Matt's gonna prepare the lemons. And so, we're getting ready to cook here. Got Matt off the couch. I'm gonna tell the people what you're tediously doing there. Tediously, is that a word?
I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. If you say it's a word, it's a word. Peeling lemons. That's all I know.
Peeling lemons, yes. Painstakingly taking all of the white off of the lemon peels. Because, what are we making?
Limoncello.
Yes, limoncello.
And you know, who knows if it's true, but somebody told us the white part's bitter, so we've always peeled it off. We've never really experimented. Could be wasting our time, I don't know.
We could be. It's come out good every time though, so.
Yes, and I don't mind it. This is fun. This isn't tedious or whatever you called it.
It's repetitive, that's why you like it, huh? And precise. Repetitive and precise.
Brings me back to my old surgeon days.
Mm-hmm.
Doctor?
So to make limoncello, you need a bottle of Everclear, and we take and divide that into 2 bottles to begin with. And then, like Matt said, peel all of the white stuff off of the lemon peels, and then put those into the divided bottles of Everclear, let them soak for a good couple weeks, and then we'll show you the next step. And now that all of the lemons have been peeled and are soaking in the Everclear, let's get back to making this lemon chicken noodle soup.
All right, and while Matt is busy peeling white stuff off of the lemon rinds, yeah, he's still at it. I've got the veggies chopped up. Down underneath these, there is 1.5 pounds of chicken, an onion, a bunch of garlic, because we like garlic, and if anybody can give me a recommendation for a soup pot that is large, I'd take one. So I had my mom's soup pot for a long time, and it was large, and I should have looked to see what size it was before we threw it out, but it was old and unfortunately kind of falling apart. I don't know if it was aluminum, but it wasn't like a Teflon coated pan or anything. It was quite old, and I loved it, but unfortunately it was falling apart, and we felt like perhaps maybe it was no longer real safe to cook food in. But now I just have a smaller pot, so yeah, kind of struggling with this. And so when we make this soup, we make it for several nights. Neither one of us seem to get actually sick of this recipe for leftovers. And I'm also thinking about taking it down. I think in my last video, the one prior to this, I had mentioned that one of our neighbors was having surgery, and she came through that surgery, so that's good news. But she might be coming home from the hospital tomorrow, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we thought we would also take a batch of this, or a smaller portion of this, down to them so that they have dinner maybe when she comes home. So, and it's a nice, comfy, cozy, warm dinner on these winter evenings. So anyways, but if you have a soup pot recommendation, please let me know down there below in the comments, and I need a large one. Clearly. All right, we like a lot of lemons in our lemon chicken soup, so we use about 10 lemons per batch, and I've added obviously chicken broth to this, and so we're just going to squeeze all these lemons in here now, let it simmer for a bit. You think what?
I think actually we like lemon in our limoncello. It has nothing to do with soup.
No, we like it in our soup too. I like it in the soup. I think it's a nice addition to your chicken noodle soup. If anybody is, wanting to spice their soup up a bit, it's a nice addition. So, anyways, we're gonna keep squeezing these lemons. Oh, and let this simmer for a bit.
Last of the ingredients added, and voila! Thick and hearty chicken noodle lemon soup. Ciao!
Hi all. Through the magic of being able to fast forward the video here a bit and time a bit, the limoncello is ready to make. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and kind of show you the bottles and what the liquid looks like now that the lemon peels have been soaking in it. All right, I think, can you see that? It is turned yellow. So it's been about 2 weeks, so we're ready to mix it up now. Limoncello time. Yummy, yum, yum. And I will try to remember to put the recipe down there below in the description box that we used many, many years ago now, but I think we may have tweaked it a little bit. Basically, we make a simple syrup and we do 1.5 parts water to 1 part sugar. And before we mix the simple syrup into the bottles, we strain out the lemon peels, make the simple syrup up, and then mix all of that together. And we basically get about 3 bottles of liquor, limoncello, out of 1 bottle of Everclear. So there you go. There's the limoncello process.
Thanks so much for coming along on this video. If you have any soup pot recommendations, please let me know down there below in the comments. Also wondering, do you meal plan, or are you more of a fly by the seat of your pants kind of meal prep person? And do you have any favorite recipes, especially maybe a favorite winter or springtime recipe? As I think spring might be right around the corner here. Anyways, thanks so much for following along. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.